Good morning and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be going over the top 5 best fishing farms that you can do in WoW. Now just stick around and enjoy the video. Coming in at number 1 we have an oldie but a goodie, and that is the DEVIATE fish farm. Now as opposed to most current content fishing farms, the DEVIATE fishing farm is one from vanilla. Now this can only be farmed up outside of the Wailing Caverns, and also there is one little node spawn in Dustwallow Marsh, but mainly specifically you're really just going to be wanting to farm it up outside the Wailing Caverns, because that is where the majority of the nodes actually spawn, or schools of fish, so to speak. You can also farm them up freely in those pools as well. Other than that, the DEVIATE fish is used to make savoury DEVIATE delight. Now this gives you like a weird appearance thing for around about 60 minutes or an hour, and it kind of transforms you either into a pimp or turns you into like a piratey rogue type dude, and loads of other different types of things. But more specifically, it is more or less a little fun thing to do in the game, and their value is equivalated towards that. So that being the case, then the sell rate on this is not as high as you would think, but they do actually sell, hence why it is on this list. Other than that, the DEVIATE fish varies in price quite wildly across all servers, and it is usually around about 16,000 to 18,000 gold per hour if you are more or less just constantly at it for that hour, just fishing up DEVIATE fish. Now the good thing about this farm is the pools or the schools of fish that you'll be farming from outside of there, once you've actually completed a circuit outside the Wailing Caverns, they respawn once again. So you're never going to run out of pools, so to speak, unless you're incredibly fast at fishing or you have insane luck. If you do go over that and you're still waiting for a couple of nodes to respawn, just fish randomly where the next pool or school will spawn and you should be alright. Other than that, if you do take yourself at a moderately conservative pace, you are more than likely to get every single school pretty much all the time, and you're going to be making the best gold per hour by just taking a conservative route along with that. Now, that being the case, the DEVIATE fish is still actually a pretty decent farm because it sells quite fast. Now, the only thing that is great about this farm is that not many people actually fish it because they don't know about it, or they don't think it's worth all that much. Now, I did the numbers on this and it actually works quite well, and overall they sell on average quite fast considering they're really old style fish for the game because it's vanilla. Now that being the case, that this is a great way in order to make gold because there's like less competition on the auction house and there's less competition of people farming it. That means that you can have a majority control of those DEVIATE fish on the auction house, and that is pretty damn good on average as opposed to just the single player. That's pretty much all I have to say for the DEVIATE fish farm because it's just outside the Wailing Caverns and you just fish for an hour running around in a circle. That being the case, let's move on to number 2. Now coming in at number 2 we have the Redtail Loach farm. Now this can be actually done anywhere in Zandalar. Now, well, when I say specifically in Zandalar, I mean in the inland waters of Zandalar. Do not go to the sea because you probably won't get them. So that being the case, if you're going to be farming up Redtail Loach, the best farming spot is literally inland Zandalar. So if you're Alliance, just head over to Nazmir because there's some great pools inland there. Other than that, if you're just Horde, you can go whenever or wherever you want and just fish them up there. Aside from that, this is currently around about 17 to 18,000 gold per hour on average, and it does come with the Great Sea Catfish. Now, the Great Sea Catfish sells pretty fast as well as the Redtail Loach, but the Redtail Loach is used in more feasts for raiding and all that jazz, so it's well worth your time to just farm that up. Other than that, that is pretty much the one for this farm, it's mainly just go to Inlands Andler, pick a farming spot where you feel like comfortable, where you're not going to get attacked if you're Alliance, and just fish. Seriously, fishing farms are so easy. It's just pick a spot that nothing's going to attack you and you should be fine. So that being the case, the Redtail Loach farm on average is pretty damn good just overall across all servers, so hence why it is at number 2 on this list. Now coming in at number 3, we have the Viperfish and the MAUVE Stinger farm. Now this one is in Nazjatar, and the best place that I've actually found for fishing these up is over here. Now this is a little pool area where it's just a big body of water, and all you have to do is just jump in, go underneath, like do like a U-pipe type thing, and in there is an area where you will never get attacked by anything unless you're PvP, of course, and you can literally just fish without anything attacking you for like an hour. It's just like an enclosed little cave type thing with a couple of NPCs, and it is pretty much something that you can just AFK in and not have to worry about getting attacked like near or never unless you're on PvP, and then good luck. Other than that, it is currently around about 20,000 gold per hour upon average. This does not mean your specific server. When I say on average, it is across the US and the EU servers. So your market still does apply, so just double check it with worth it in order to actually see, is this actually a good farm or a viable farm for yourself on your server? So it's still worth double checking how much you're going to get per hour. Along with that, that is the Viperfish farm, and you're pretty much going to get a sizable amount of these fish per hour as long as you stick at it. What I like to do when I'm fishing is just stick something on like YouTube or something and just listen out for the splosh and then just click it. Other than that, let's move on to number 4. Coming in at number 4, we have the DARKMOON DAGGERMAW. Now, obviously, this one was going to make an appearance, and this is a once per month type thing, kind of, so to speak. So for 1 week out of the month, you can have access to the Darkmoon Fair. Now, this will take you to the Darkmoon Island type thing, where Silas is and all that jazz. And anywhere in those waters, you can farm up DARKMOON DAGGERMAW. Now, if you're an experienced player, you know you can trade these in for different types of things, such as the Faded Treasure Map for Darkmoon tickets, or you can use that to buy the battle pets and sell those on the auction house as well. And you can just use them for a wide variety of different things and be able to just sell them on the auction house flat. Now, when this is active, this farm usually averages around about 22,000 to 30,000 gold per hour upon average, and it is well worth your time in order to do. I find that this farm is like absolutely amazing, and whenever the Darkmoon Fair is up, it is well worth your time to just fish for a couple of hours right at the beginning of the Darkmoon Fair, because you're mainly going to be selling all of your inventory throughout the entire thing. So it is well worth it to actually do that. Other than that, you can also work out if it's worth you buying the battle pets as well with the Darkmoon DAGGERMAW to see if you can make a profit. But other than that, that is pretty much all I have to say for this farm, because fishing farms are so easy and you can just fish anywhere and not get attacked, as long as you're not near those wolves near where Moonfang spawns. And to be honest, it's very rare that you get attacked by a wolf, and to be honest, if you are max level, you're most likely going to be able to kill it. But other than that, guys, let's move on to number 5. Now, for number 5, we have to make our way all the way over to Deepholm. Now, Deepholm, you can get the albino cavefish. And yes, it is one farm that I have mentioned a lot. And that is because, on average, on average, the albino cavefish is a farm that is rarely done, and this is why I bang on about it so much, because there's hardly any supply on the auction house on most of the servers that I play on, and I looked up the averages and not many people actually farm this up just in general. These average for like a stupidly amount pricing for like across all realms, and it's well worth your time in order to do. For a gold per hour perspective, it is about 30,000 to 40,000 gold per hour. That's pretty damn good for sitting there and just fishing. Now you can obviously take two ways in order to do this. We have the different two locations on the map for deep home in order to fish these up, and you can either farm them up through the nodes or just stay static and just fish in one spot. Now the gold per hour does drop a little bit. If you want to stay static, you're going to lose around about 3,000 gold per hour, but if you follow the nodes and keep moving for that hour throughout the nodes, you're going to be obviously getting that 3,000 gold, not getting the loss of that 3,000 gold. Personally, I go static because I'm just a lazy little bugger and I would just rather watch something and lose a few thousand gold and just stay static. Along with that, you do actually get some volatile waters when actually doing this farm, and that is kind of handy in order to sell because they're fast sellers and the albino cavefish are kind of low sellers. So that being the case, the albino cavefish is one of those medium range sellers. They do sell, but it takes a little bit longer than average to actually sell these items. Now, the reason that the albino cavefish is at the price it is because 8 of these is crafted into 8 deepstone oils, which is used to create the Vial of the Sands mount. Now, obviously, this mount is well worth a lot of gold, and it is worth your time in order to craft. Along with that, it is absolutely great in order to do, and personally, I love to actually craft the Vial of the Sands because you get so much profit from it. So, other than that, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say for these farms for the week. I hope that you had a great rest of the day, and I shall see you in the next video, which will be on Wednesday. Take it easy, guys, and I shall see you soon.